We're praying for his quick recovery, and I want to thank him and all of the NYPD officers who place their lives on the line every day. Thanks to our brave officers and committed public servants. Their efforts is allowing our city to continue to be the safest big city in America. At this time, I would turn it over to Police Commissioner Tisch for more.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Earlier this morning at approximately 8:18, an NYPD ESU detective was shot in an apartment building in the Vladeck houses, confines of the 7th Precinct. He was in that building doing the job that we asked him to do, the incredibly dangerous work of taking illegal guns and the violent criminals who use them off of our streets. The details of this morning's incident are as follows. Field intelligence officers from PSA 4 had received information that there were firearms at the location, and a search warrant was obtained. That search warrant was executed by members of our emergency service unit at approximately 5:09 this morning. The team gained entry and immediately were fired upon by the perpetrator inside the apartment. The perpetrator fired 5 to 6 rounds at our cops. One struck our officer's ballistic shield. Our officers exercised restraint. They did not return fire at that time, and the team tactically repositioned into the hallway. At this point, the perpetrator barricaded himself in the apartment with a couch upright blocking the doorway. The hostage negotiation team responded and were able to make contact with the perpetrator over FaceTime, also getting his family involved to try to do everything possible to de-escalate the situation. We also had information that there was possibly a female in the apartment with the perpetrator, perhaps being held hostage. The suspect eventually disengaged contact with our officers, and at 8:18 this morning, the team attempted to move the couch, which was inside the apartment, out of the doorway. While our officers were in the doorway, the perpetrator shot multiple rounds at our officers again, this time striking an ESU detective with one round in the left shoulder, narrowly missing critical vessels and nerves that could have been life-ending. Officers then returned fire, striking the perpetrator multiple times. He is currently at Bellevue Hospital in not likely condition. Our detective was also brought here to Bellevue Hospital in stable condition. I just spent time with the detective and members of his family, and as the mayor said, I am pleased to report he is in good spirits, and all indications are that he will make a full recovery. But let me be extremely clear. This could have ended very differently, and we should not have been at his door this morning in the first place. The suspect, 35-year-old Edwin Rivera, is a career criminal, a convicted felon with multiple priors for gun possession and narcotics. He has been on parole 4 times, and he is actually on parole today. And I want to be very clear that today is not the only time that Mr. Rivera has been arrested while out on his current parole. He was previously arrested on November 6th, 2024, for criminal possession of stolen property and resisting arrest. The Manhattan DA only charged him with resisting arrest, and so sadly and predictably, and although he was on active parole, he was released the very next day. So the real question here is this: why was this individual out of jail and in a position to shoot our officers? How is the system set up to allow one person to commit multiple violent offenses while out on parole with no consequences? I ask our elected officials up in Albany, our DAs, and our judges, what are you doing here? We should never have had to be at that door this morning. We should never have had a cop shot today. Blessedly, our officer will be going home to his family, and we are all incredibly grateful for that. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart the medical staff of Bellevue Hospital, especially the Chief of Acute Care Surgery, Dr. Spiros Frangos, for their work this morning and for everything that they do for our department. And to the members of the Emergency Service Unit who put their lives